Hey, welcome back to Sawmill. So, I don't know if I'll ever put up the oak identification video. The test cuts that we made. I might put it up. It's kind of a shitty video. So we got a white oak down here. We're going to test out the new Stellite bands from Norwood. I'll show those in a minute. We got to buck this white oak off. I brought this white oak down. What I need 4x4s, 6 footers and 10 footers. Sorry, I explained this in the other video that you're not going to ever see probably. But I need 6 footers and 4 footers, and they have to be fairly clear. White oak 4x4s. So what I have here is I got a decent sized white oak log. It's not huge. It'll be easy to maneuver, but I have this right here at like 9 feet. We've got this knot cluster, and also if you look down the side here, it wells in right there, and it's nice and fat and straight and clear down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buck this off at like, I don't know, it's like 8'8" or something like that to keep the straight part, and that may get me all 6 of my 4 footers out of that one log, and then I'll have to grab some more logs to get the 6 footers. So, because I don't believe any of my big logs up there are white oak. All the ones that I thought that we just did the exploratory cutting on, I think are all black oak. So I'm going to fire up the 372. I'm going to cut this off. The end chunk is going to become firewood, and we'll get it thrown up on the mill. I'm sorry about my mics. So I lost my hookup to my phone when I was up in Vermont. So I don't have my mics right now. I tried my other mics, but they were all dead. They're going to take a while to charge. So I know it's windy out. The good thing for you is you'll be able to hear the saw in real noise, and you'll be able to hear the bandsaw in real noise. So it's just the way it's going to be. If you want to see cutting and stuff like that, and cool chainsaws and sawmills, and see them cutting white oak in a new band, then you can watch. If you don't want to watch because you want some entertainment value, then sign off now. So we're gonna rip this thing apart. Thrown up on the mill. Jesus Christ. Whoopsie. if you guys saw what I did on that other start, which I thought was going to be a semi-warm start. But I had actually pulled it over with the saw off a couple times. I thought I clicked it over, but apparently I didn't. And I had pulled it over on choke a few times with the saw off. That tends to possibly flood it. The best thing that you can do at that point is put the choke in and pull till it starts, just like I did. If it takes 5 or 10 pulls, it'll eventually start if it's semi-warm. So if the saw is kind of like, when it's warm, it should just fire first pull, which that saw does. When it's half warm, kind of cooled down, you're in that no man's land of whether you should choke it or not. If I had turned the saw on, for whatever reason I don't know, when I choked it, it would have popped on the first pull, and then I could have pulled it and it would have started normal. But because I didn't, the danger of flooding, it's huge. If you leave the choke out and try to pull till you get that pop, you might never get it. So what you should do in that case, if it doesn't act right on choke, turn choke off and just pull till it starts. And that's what I did. So that's a little lesson in saw starting. I am going to get this white oak up on the mill and we are going to saw it. The one thing that I don't really like, oh, the good thing is this is way long. Somewhere where one of those knots came in, it created some sort of not punky, but definitely some sort of intrusion into the heartwood. If you look at the outside of this log right here, you know, it's totally solid. And then around those knots, you see that dark wood right there? It's not a good sign, but the good part is that this log is way long for what I need. So, and this is, let's get here, let's show you. This is not, I'll show you that this is not soft. I don't want somebody saying, oh, your 372 cut through it like that because it's rotten. This is not soft. See the marks I'm making right in there? Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to get this log up on the mill. We're going to put the new band on. So I'm going to pause you guys while I get set up for the next iteration here. All right, so we get it up on the mill, we get it dogged down, and we're going to check out these new Stellite bands. Get your view down onto the band itself. So what makes these bands special is that they have an insert that is not carbide. It's called Stellite, but it's carbide similar on the raker tooth. Oh, there we go here. Where is it? It's right here. So every third tooth has a carbide type Stellite insert on it that is as wide as the kerf of the band. And what that does is stabilizes the band in the cut. Because it's only on the raker tooth, which is the one that's straight up and down. So you have a left tooth and you have a left right here. You got left tooth and left tooth, a right tooth, and then a straight up and down tooth. And that's the one that has the insert on it. And these are more durable, so it extends band life. They believe like 30%. It helps it track a little bit straighter. It keeps the costs down because there's only one insert for every 3 teeth. And we're going to run one. I've seen them run already, so I know what they're capable of. Just for reference, and I know that there's wind noise and stuff, guys, I'm sorry. Just for reference, the Norwood guys, Brian and Trevor, ran the entire logging show, one of these bands, the entire logging show in really kind of dirty wood, and it kept cutting perfect the whole time. So, and also, Brian gave me a little bit of corrected me a little bit on blade tension, in that what you want to do with your blade tension on this mill is designed to be tensioned until the T-handle stops. So we're going to see that too. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. Yeah. So we're going to throw this on, and we're going to tension it up the way Brian, who's the engineer that developed multiple parts of this mill. And I can tell you that when I did that, when I've cut like that, it's a noticeable difference in tension. It's over a full turn more than I normally go. Won't count it. So I used to go 5 1/3, and now I just go until it stops. And he said that standardizes it. I'll get you guys a little closer in a sec. He says that standardizes the blade tension. So let's just go till it starts turning. Now we don't have to worry about. Now you don't have to worry about trying to figure out if it's just starting to make contact or not. Like what you usually have to do is you have to turn this thing until it starts moving that spring, like right there. And that's where you start. Now, it doesn't matter, but let's count it anyway. So this half, 1, half, 2, half, 3, half, 4, half, 5, and 1/3 is where I usually go. So that's 5 1/2. That's 6, and it stops right there with this horizontal. So that's where it stops, about 6 1/4. So that's a big difference. We'll just check the tracking on this fan, make sure it's right. Sounds great. A few more times. It looks like I might have a little bit too much sticking out on the other side. It might be correcting itself. So I'll show you what I'm looking at. Since this is a new band and it was going to tension different, I have on that side over there a little bit of the gullet sticking out. I can see it from here. It's not very much, but it's a little bit. Let's go over here and look at this side. And this side there's a little bit sticking out also. They're more flush than the other side. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to adjust our tracking. I just got to grab a wrench. I'm going to go off camera. So, got my adjustable. This side's worse, so I'm going to do this side first. And I'll show you as I make progress here. I need to get these to go in, so going in is clockwise on this. We're going to go about a 1/4 turn, and we're going to spin it some more. Spin it the way the band goes. And check it. Glove off. Perfectly flush to the back, and the gullets are perfectly flush to the front. And on that side over there, I'll give you a look this way so you can see what I'm doing. slightly in on the back and the gullets are still slightly proud. I'm going to spin it just a couple more times to make sure it doesn't correct. It's still in a little bit. That side looks great. We're going to go ahead and we're going to give this one just a little quarter turn clockwise. Spin her up, it should be good. Usually it never takes more than that. I think, it's pretty damn close, but I think you can go a hair more. These are still out of hair. I'm going to go a little more. This could be a weird band. Usually I don't have to adjust tracking once it's there, and I almost never have to adjust. Alright, this side's really good now. This side's really good. Let's just check this other side again. Yeah, this side feels fine. It feels like it could sneak in a hair. It's going to crank it just a hair. All right, that feels really good right there. So we're gonna go to cutting. Pretty sunny. I'm gonna pause you guys 1 second and we'll get ready to go here. Put it all back together. All right, so you're not gonna be able to hear me down the other end, but I'm gonna try to get this into as big a cant as I can first, because I do have a customer that's looking for some 10-quarter white oak for a boat build. So if I can get some 10-quarter off this too, that'd be great. But we're going to blast it into as big a cant as we can get and take it from there. And hopefully, one little knot right there doesn't screw us on this log. So like I said, you won't be able to hear me, but I want you to see it cut, hear it cut, and we'll check out the cut and we'll see how it does. So let's check out the cut. So with my scraper's in the box, so let's just see the cut. I'll let you watch me roll through the rest of the log. I hit my hand in here for scale, fairly smooth. There's no waves in it, cut really flat. I wouldn't say that there was no resistance, but you know, it cut like a sharp blade. So we'll get it rolled over and cut the side off it. So we're just checking to see what I'm going to get for a max cant here. I'm not going to get the 10 that I have, so I think we're good right there to go ahead and flip it. Okay, I got a little bit of dirt here. I'm not going to roach the band for the sake of roaching the band, so I'm just going to get this dirt off right here. In a perfect world, I'd be looking for 12 1/4. I don't think I'm going to get it. I can't get it. The log's not big enough. 3/4 board off because the other customer wants 5/4 or 10/4 to do his boat stuff. So we get this one tucked in now. Actually, we could probably leave it right, to here. We'll get this one rolled on its side, square it up. Fucking, there's a knot hole in it. Shit. There's a couple of knot holes in it. It's not good. Well, we're gonna have to take it out one way or another. Shit. Show you what happens when you mill. A couple of knot holes in it. I don't want this thing in my way walking down here. I don't want to run into it with the sawmill. A knot there. And there's a hidden knot there. Came out of nowhere. Same thing here. Same thing here. You can see, hopefully, if I zoom in, it's it's a nice cut. It's a pretty log. Just I don't know that it's going to be any good for what I'm doing. I might get 4-footers out of here. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm still going to quarter it into 4x4s, but we're going to have to see what God gives us on this one, guys. Hopefully you can see how good that band's cutting. So we'll roll it on its side, square it up, and square it off. Take it off right around 12. never expect it and hit a nail. Unbelievable. A little log like this. Well, we're going to get to see what it did. Didn't screw the band, but it messed the band. Destroyed the band. Absolutely destroyed the band. Destroyed it. The band's actually junk. I'll show you what I hit. I only hit one. Could be a screw, but it totally ripped teeth off the band. I'm going to pause you guys 1 second. I'm going to take this band. No, let's I might. No, I'm going to pause you guys 1 second. All right, let's take you out of the holder. So whatever I hit is right here, and we will pull it out. Not sure what it was. Just that one thing, one little nail there. Looks like there might be something here too, but there was no metal there, but it looks like there could be something there. So when I dig this out, I'll see if I can dig that out. Check this out. There are no teeth from here so it started right here and it knocked off the insert tooth. So here's an insert tooth right here that survived, and then you have a left and a right, and then this insert tooth's gone, ripped it right off. And then starting there, going backwards, you got a half tooth. Why that one survived, I don't know. Then insert tooth gone, insert tooth gone, insert tooth gone. So it ripped off this whole section on one nail. Let's go ahead and we're going to go through and see how much is left. It's still cut okay afterwards, so I might make another cut with this band before I switch it. Sorry, it's not probably focusing, but I'm just trying to snake around and watch this while I do it. See if I can see anything else. Yeah, it's all right. So there's the one this one's blown right off. This is the first one that's damaged. This one's blown right off. And then this one's blown right off. And then we get into the dead spot where gone, 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 gone. So this band's basically junk. It's unsharpenable. I'm going to pause you guys 1 second while I get out my junk to pull that out of there, and we'll see what it is. You know, that's really discouraging on a high value log like this. Now, I know it's not the band's fault that I hit metal. I understand that. And you would have never found this metal anyway, because it was deep inside, pretty far inside the log. This is all I do typically to get them out, is I just go in with a screwdriver and just pull the wood out around it, then snap a pair of vice grips on it, rip it right out. There's no reason to go like special tools or anything like that. The screwdriver works fine. As long as you get enough out of the way, at least most of the time, not all the time. Most of the time, that's all it takes. We'll see if we can snap this on it. Hopefully it's not a screw. Sometimes you got to clean out a little bit more, sometimes you don't. What you don't want to do is you don't want to break it off right now. I'm going to just get a little bit more out of the way. I do not want to break it, because then if you break it, you're kind of hosed. If you get little strands in the way, you just cut it out with the hatchet. Should be enough. Take a little more out. Usually they'll come right out already, but this one's in there pretty good. We're broaching this high dollar plank. Try a different direction. I think it's moving. It's being a bugger. Wow. Snap it on, see if it spins. Maybe there's a chance it's a screw? No, it's not a screw, it's a big spike. It's just not coming out. Back in the day, I used to drill holes around it, but believe me, I've gotten most everything out like this. I've taken tons of them out one day. This one's holding on pretty good. Just get a better bite on it. I'll get all these comments now. Oh, get a sawzall out. Why are you doing it with that? Well, because to be honest with you, I take so many nails out that this works typically the best. This one's just not coming out. Typically they're out already. That's what you don't want to have happen. You don't want to break it like that. Oh, it's turning into a disaster now. See if there's another screw to the left of it too. Might as well take this whole chunk out now. I'm not saving anything at this point. just a nail. It's pretty exposed. And it broke off. Oh, it's a screw. Well, that's why it wasn't coming out. It's a screw. Some pretty weird screw. It didn't have any. I'll get it close so you can see it. This is why it wasn't coming out. You see, it's a screw. So, I think what I'm going to do, since this band's roached, we're going to take a slab off the top of this. I'm going to pause you guys. See if we can break the rest of this band. All right, so we're going to drop down. We're going to take 1.25 inches off this and see if we get under that or whatever happens if we mow through it. We can't roach this band any worse than it is. Both that time. Freaking every board that I have, I swear to God, it's got nail strikes in it for white oak. Hit them both that time. It actually was cutting a lot. To be honest with you, it was cutting along pretty good till I don't think it really didn't do anything to the cut. Both screws on that pass, they're both right here. Damn it. Well, we're going to try and dig them out some more. I'm going to pause you guys for a minute while I dig them out so I don't bore you, and then we'll reassess. Can't see. So those literally took 30 seconds to dig out. See if I can get you a view of what we got. So that's what was left of that one, and this one wasn't a lot left of this screw. Barely hit it. There was a big hole in the top where some of it had rusted out. So that's what was left. And you can see, I mean, it literally took me maybe 20-30 seconds to dig those out. So we're gonna have to put another band on, flip this log over, start cutting from the other side, and see if we can save some 4x4s out of this thing. So I'm going to pause you. All right, so I got the other band on. One thing I don't like about these bands already is I had to retrack. So everything I put into that for tracking for that other band, I had to take out of it for this one. Same band, and let's just say about a half a turn aside to get the tracking back out from where I corrected it to. So we're going to start taking the top off this side. Right now I'm like 10 inches wide. I'm exactly 10 inches wide, and this cut that I'm going to make first is going to be at 10 high. I don't think I can clean up there, but I do want to flip this cant over and try to cut off some of that screw damage on the bottom. So I'm trying to get it down to really the minimum that I can. Without going below 8 1/8. I don't want to go below 8 1/8 because I want to get 4x4s out of it. So let's see how much it's going to take to clean this up. And I am, like I said, I'm 10 wide, so I can take some off this side too to get rid of some of the wane to get to 8. To get to 8 1/8 this way. I can get rid of some of the wane that way. So we're going to come down to, I think, 10. I'm going to try it at 10. Then we'll like flip it and cut it to 8. Cut it in half. Flip it up. Cut it to 8 1/8. Cut it in half. There's already a big rut. There's already a big knot hole in it right here, so it's going to screw me somehow. So let's see how we do it. Alright, so it's got that little rot spot right here, so I made it so that I can take the top off here and then flip it and take the screw spot off there, but I crushed my finger and I'm bleeding all over the place. I don't want to get it all over the wood, so let's take a look at how bad it is. In this situation, my experience has always been don't take the glove off, but it's pretty bad, I think. Yeah, got it pretty good. It's a blowout. So I got to get a band-aid on that first before I can finish this up. So I'm going to pause you guys again. That's what I get for not trying to use the PV, and I crushed it on the bump. All right, I'll bandage it up. Pretty good. I don't know if they call that an emulsion, I think, when you crush it and it squeezes out the side. It's always great to have a first aid kit close by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down to 8 1/8, take a cut, hopefully it's below this knot, and then come up 4, cut it in half, flip it on its side, cut it at 8 1/8, and then cut it in half. painful exercise. Get you guys over here, check out what we got. Wicked, this is wicked quarter saw 1x4. Get you guys over here, show you the boards. They're pretty cool. I don't know that these 4x4s are going to be good enough for this customer. I have to have them check them out. We kept it the log nice and balanced, as you can see. Grab my scraper. We'll get a look at these two. These are beautiful. Lots of nice embroidery, Teeny little bit of staining in those. You see all the rays in them right here. You see that one little bit of staining right there. And we'll get these up on hill with the other boards, and we'll take off the 4x4s and see what they look like. I'll get you guys in a spot. I can do this without crushing my fingers again. I got a deck of trailer starting tomorrow, so this isn't going to be no fun with my fingers like this. Lots of cool medullary rays, but man, they're just not good. They're not good. The middle of this log is soft. Oh my God. Unbelievable. What a waste of an afternoon and a band. I don't know if I'm going to get any. I don't think I'll get any out of it. The heartwood's punky. Unbelievable. After all that, these are like, look at the cool rays in it right here. These are punky. This right here. Oh my God, I put my finger in it. Right in the middle of the log. Right where I split it out. They're garbage. All those are beautiful. These are all solid. Yeah, you can see it on that cut right there. But these are all solid. These are junk. These are ground bunks. Oh my goodness. Wasted a band in an afternoon on 4 ground bunks. You can't even cut those into boards, they'll fall apart. Unbelievable. So I get a big fat hunk of nothing out of that. Zero. I don't think there's not a good one here. Not a good one here. He's a high-end furniture maker. He's using them for legs on a bed. I don't know what shape he's going to turn them into, but they're supposed to be stock for legs on a bed. These are no good. Garbage. So, well, that sucks. Crushed my finger. Wrecked one of Norwood's brand new bands that they're all excited about. cut out a white oak log that was brand spanking new and it's garbage. That log was like, oh well, that's what happens. No use crying over it. Get some, I don't know, some stock out of it. These will end up being ground bunks. I'll end up putting them over there on the ground to stack wood on. That's what they're going to end up being. And I mean, there's no sign of it in the ends either, guys. There's no sign of it in the ends at all. None. It's a foot into the log. You know, if you look, see how they're all solid right there on the end? I don't know if you can see it or not, but they're all solid right there on the end, and then it starts all like right here. And this end, remember when I was talking about when I cut it off that it had that dark spot in it? Well, that's it right there. It's junk. They are garbage. All right, well, we live and learn. At least I got to run the mill a little bit today for nothing. Crush my finger, make it so working the rest of the week's gonna suck. On a good note, let's see, we got any good notes to end this thing on? On a good note, my friend that's been coming out of winter that owed me a bunch of money, he paid me everything, right? Every dime, right down. I won't say who it is, but paid me every dime right down to nothing. So that's great. That makes my summer. Other than that, I gotta find some more. I gotta come up with some more white oak to cut this out because this ain't gonna do it. What are my opinions on this band? A couple things. Right here, this is just for teeth gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 teeth gone right here. And by the way, it was still cutting. There's a tooth gone here, so that's a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I took 19 teeth off this band in those 2 screws. That worries me. I will say that my first strike, I was going pretty fast when I hit it. My second strike, where I was going slower and it just kind of mowed right through both of them and kept going, but it still took another 8 teeth off. So I don't know. It's an awful lot of money to spend on bands that if you're going to get nail strikes that they're going to rip the teeth off. Because I have other bands. I can't say this and say it honestly. I can't say that I have other bands that I would not have lost that many teeth going through those 2 pieces of metal, because I don't know what the makeup of those screws are, so it's not fair to say that. If those were 2 nails, I could make a better assessment, because I've cut a million nails. So I know what happens when you cut a nail. Sometimes it does, barely even dulls the band. But as far as ripping teeth off, that's worrisome for a band that costs this much money, because that's just junk after 2 screws. It's garbage. The kind of money that these are, they're basically twice as much as a normal band, so they're going to be somewhere around 45 bucks. That's worrisome. That'd kill me if I, couldn't sharpen them out afterwards. So I might. I'm going to see how the swelling goes down in this. I did put some triple ointment on it, antibiotic. This kind of needs stitches. I'm going to hope that the swelling goes down, it starts to heal, and I don't need stitches. But it's pretty open, pretty big. It's a pretty meaty chunk. And like I said, I think it's called an emulsion or an emulsion. It means when you squish it so hard that it tears and the meat sticks out. So it's it for now. Garbage day. I'm going to put everything away. It's going to be Pirate Solutions out.